Welcome to the Coach Business Podcast. I'm your host, Caryn Gillen. I'm also a projector, and I got an invitation in my DMs less than a week ago from Brianna Owen, and she asked if we could have this conversation somewhere. And I was like, yes. So, this gal right here is a human design copywriting magician, and I had her come inside of Comfortable in Business. So if you want to join us in there, her workshop is already live. And we had some serious fun and also got a bunch of work done because it was all this how do you nurture your people after they get on your list goodness. But what I love is how you're really able to combine human design and how people write in a way to nurture and sell because we cannot all write the same. We just can't do it. It doesn't work. I've tried it.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm just really glad you're here and I'm excited for whatever comes out of this conversation. This is not an interview. This is a back and forth. We're going to kind of ping pong and like talk through how selling and human design come together and and tell us, why did you reach out to me that day?
Oh, such a great question. Thank you so much. And I'm so excited that you let me, like you received that invitation and said yes to it. I reached out to you that day because you had said something about selling like a human, which is something you talk about often. I've attended the workshop. I've been following you for a while. I know that's something we've talked about even. And I just felt that we would have a freaking awesome conversation combining how to sell like a human and what I know about human design and how it helps people show up and sell like the human they were created, wired, designed to be. And
Mm-hmm.
I was going to ask you questions about this anyway. I was going to engage in a dialogue with you one way or another, and I
Mm-hmm.
figured I know there's going to be gold in this, and let's do it in a way that other people can also receive it, hear it, and benefit from it because it's just going to be so good.
Right. And so the highlight for all of us who are in a position to potentially pitch ourselves to be on people's podcasts, which isn't exactly what you were doing, it's what I turned it into, is that you were coming at it relationally, not transactionally. So
Hmm.
I didn't have any of those feelings like she's coming for me because she needs something or wants something. It was more like, hi, I see this greatness. Let's talk about it. It was very much person to person. It wasn't her coming in and trying to make something happen, you know, and I think
Hmm.
that that really matters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, what should we talk about first?
Well, what if you started with something about selling like a human? If you like, what's your one of your big hallmarks, foundational
Mhm.
pillars of what it means to sell like a human? And we'll go from there.
Okay. One of my main things is to be with the other person on the call. So, if we show up
Mm,
and we are thinking about our sales numbers, our that we need to pay a bill with the money that comes in from this call, what we want to have for lunch, if we're thinking about anything other than the human being who has taken time out of their day and who has courageously shown up for one of the most vulnerable calls that many of us will ever show up for, which is, hi, I think I might want life coaching. I think I might want to be different. And I think you can help me. That's a really vulnerable thing. So, my thing
mhm.
is, you put yourself aside and you stick with them. No matter what happens, you just stay over there with the person.
Yeah, I love that. So, one thing that came to mind from the human design. So, how do we take that? My whole premise is then how do we take what you, Karin, are saying, and how do we add a layer of depth based off of what human design says to help somebody do that even better, even more, but specifically for who they are?
Mm-hmm.
So, one of the things that came to mind as you were talking about that is in human design, we have something called a self theme, and it's based off of your energy type. There are five primary energy types within human design. Generators and manifesting generators make up the bulk of people. About 70% of all people are a manifesting generator or a generator. You have projectors, which you have said you are. And I know this about you too. You also have manifestors. And then last, you have reflectors. So each of those energy types has like this self theme. So as a projector, your self theme is success, right? When you are feeling success at, and this is for projectors, this is at like a cellular level. So this isn't how much money have I made? How many
Mm-hmm.
followers do I have? How many calls do I have on the books this week? It is like, what do you do that makes you feel successful?
Mm-hmm. So this
It's
is like
how,
drinking enough water, getting my steps in, got a good sleep last night. Like, even if I don't sell anything today, I already won. Like, I feel really good.
yeah,
That's what
even
it
it's
feels
how
like.
you show up for people. You know that being in the moment and just holding space with that person, that makes you feel success too,
Mm-hmm.
no matter what happens from the call. This isn't
100%.
about what's coming from it, right? So at projectors, there's your self theme is success. So, um, and then just in case other types are listening, manifestors self theme is peace. Reflector self theme is awe, like surprise, delight, awe.
Mm-hmm.
And then generators and manifesting generators have the same self theme of satisfaction. So, one of the things that I would say is to help you channel and get into this, like, I'm in the moment with this person, is to
Mm,
feel that sense of self theme first for
yeah.
you. Like,
Yeah.
I know you've talked about this before of what you do to prep before getting on a call with someone. Do
Mm-hmm.
you smell some oils? Do you do like whatever it is that you do with a few minutes before getting on a call with someone? Add to that, check in with yourself and see if you're feeling your self theme. Because the inverse of our self theme is our not self theme, very aptly named, and it is anger, frustration, bitterness, disappointment.
Mm-hmm.
And those are not, that's not an
It's not how you sell.
energy, that's not a vibe you want to bring to the call.
Yeah. So I'm thinking about my reflector client and like when they go into a sales conversation of any kind, like getting into that space of awe first, which
Hmm.
I would say is where they live most of the time. So that'll be pretty easy. But I think that's a really good tip.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And, thinking of that reflector client, reflectors are literally meant to reflect, right?
Mm-hmm.
They are just observing what's happening, and they are that instrument panel on like an airplane, right? The instrument panel itself isn't controlling the engines or the gas tank or whatnot. It's just letting you know what's happening in those things.
Mm-hmm.
And so that is literally all that reflector is supposed to do. And how cool is it that they just get to like in that reflection of just be in awe and surprise and delight of whatever they're seeing around them in the world and in their life. That's so cool.
Yeah. Yeah. What is the one for the manifesting generators and generators?
Satisfaction.
Okay. So is that what you are? One of those two?
I am. Yes,
How,
I'm a sacral type. I'm satisfaction.
how do you get into it for before you have a conversation with somebody about working with you?
I have learned that calls I like to put calls at the top of my day because I love having the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's having the conversation feels satisfying. I love talking about this, and so
Mm-hmm.
I'm super excited to get in there. Um, and sacral types are very physical beings as well. So for me, there's a lot of, can I do a quick dance party, or can I go on a walk, or like what can I do with my body so that my body physically is feeling good? Um, and then I am also doing some sort of a mental check, especially if I know when this person or they're coming to me, like if I know what it is they're going to be asking about a specific service of mine, I just think about how much satisfaction and joy I feel when I'm able to serve them in that way. Like I love what I do. And so when I'm reminded how much I love what I do and how I help people and my body feels good, I'm going to get on that call with them and I'm going to be lit up and I'm going to be excited. And even if it's not a good fit, like you've said
Mm-hmm.
before, this isn't about the outcome of the call. It's about how do you show up as your best self. And one of the ways that we know if we're on track or not based on our human design is that self theme of, gosh, when I'm satisfied, let's go. Like,
Yeah.
let's go.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I love that. That all makes a ton of
Yeah.
sense. I do love that
Yes.
feeling of success. And it does feel like every
Yeah.
single time I get to talk to someone, it's a win. Like, I think
Yeah.
that's a thought anybody can have. Like, whether I send them to someone else, like, great. Or I
Right.
say, it sounds like you're okay. You don't need anything. It sounds like you just figured it out. Great. Like, it all does feel like a win.
Right. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I would say, how do you tap into that? Um, I think it's so fascinating how many coaches are projectors. I don't
Mhm.
know how many conversations you've had like that with your community and the people listening. But projectors make phenomenal coaches.
Yeah. It's kind of like the natural suit we wear.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Because
Mhm.
you are the seers, you're the advisors. You can see things that other people cannot see. Like you
Mhm.
see the train coming down the tracks well before any of us do. And you tell us about it. You tell us that the train is coming. This is what's happening. This is what's going on. Here's what I see. So I think it's just fascinating how many projectors end up
Yeah.
as
Naturally
some sort
fit
of
in.
coach role. Yeah.
Yeah. That's true.
Yes.
Yeah. It's interesting.
So what's another element of selling like a human?
Oh, man. I have no idea. Just kidding. I think it's also letting yourself be a human, right? So the first thing I said was
Mm-hmm.
all about like get out of the way and don't really exist on the call and be there for them. But the other side is you get to be a human too. You get to have like
Mm-hmm.
your natural responses. You get to have what you don't know. Like, I think it's okay to be on a consultation call and say, like, I know I can help you, but I don't have that offer dialed in yet. So I'm going to email it to you tomorrow. And like, we don't have to be
Mm-hmm.
perfect on the call. We just have to show up and like decide if we can help people or not. And if we can offer to help them in whatever way works for us.
So good. Yes. Yes. Okay. So if we take that and then we apply human design to it, a couple of things came to mind. One is it's your authority, your strategy and your authority. That's how you show up and that's how you make decisions. 50% of people are emotional authority. Emotional authority is all about riding the waves, the highs and the lows before making a decision. They
Mm-hmm.
have to wait for clarity before they can say yes.
Yeah.
So there's something to be said for you could try to front load it. Like I work as an email marketing person. I work with people to craft a really short email series that happens between the time somebody books with you and when you get on the call. Because you can
Mm.
try to front load that decision making process and give them the information before they get on the call with you so that the call is just like the final thing, or they get on a call with you and they are going to need some time after that to make a decision. And there are a couple of other elements within human design that will impact, will they make a fast decision? Will they take longer? Right?
Mm-hmm.
We just don't know. But we've
Yeah.
got to wait. That 50% of people need to wait for clarity before making a decision.
Which I think is really important because so many, like, I hope it's happening less now, but people were teaching to like get people's credit card number on the phone and put the
Hmm.
payment through before they hang up. And it's like, that is very forceful
Yeah.
way to sell. And a lot of people don't feel safe giving you their credit card number for another point. Um, but it's okay if someone comes to your consultation call. If they just learned about you, they might not come back and say yes for a month, and that's okay, right? Our
Yep.
reflectors might need a whole month to think about it.
Right.
Or they might have been watching your marketing for 6 months and they're already decided and they get to the phone and
Yep.
say yes really fast. That doesn't mean they're not one of those people who didn't take all that time. So, whatever the outcome is on a call, it doesn't mean you did anything wrong in how you had your consultation. People need to think, and we need to be okay and hold space for them to do that because it takes
Hmm.
time. Like
Yeah.
most of the coaching investments we're making are not tiny, whether it's
Yeah.
time or money.
Yeah. Well, and going back to you get to be you. and you get to show up however you are on a call. In human design, we have profile numbers. Everybody has a set of profile numbers. They're two numbers together. And that can give you so much insight into your natural, like how it's called your public role often. It's like how you show up for others. It's how you are for others. And sometimes we look at somebody who does something really well, right? Like there, especially people listening, you might be listening, and if you've listened to a lot of episodes with Caryn, and you go, Caryn's amazing. She is an amazing coach. If I just coach the way Caryn coaches, I will have the same type of impact and success as Caryn. But really, what we're feeling is when you are so aligned with your purpose and how you are meant to show up, like that's what we're feeling. We're feeling your alignment, not the X, Y, or Z thing that you're doing. And so the good news is that we all have that ability to create that sense of feeling for other people when we're doing the thing we're meant to do and we're purposed to do in the way we're supposed to be doing it. So part of that is knowing what's that mean for you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because if you are someone who is literally designed to be the expert and authority, which is a one line in human design, and you are holding back from sharing that type of information, and instead you are trying to, like a five line is all about this practical solutions messenger, and you are just really emphasizing all the practical solutions that you do. But if you don't have that five line in your profile numbers, like that might not be a good fit. So forcing yourself to do something a certain way simply because you've seen someone else do it is not kind to yourself. And so instead, focusing on, if you know what your profile numbers are, you know how to show up in that way, gosh, like be you, because that's who we need you to be.
And it's the most magnetic thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And for anybody listening who doesn't know anything about human design, we'll put a link so you can get your chart. It's free. You don't have to pay for it. And then some of these
Yeah.
things will make more sense. We'll put it in the show notes.
Yeah. Do you want me to go through just like real quick, high level for each of the profile lines since I said it?
Sure.
Okay. So there are six numbers within your profile line for anybody who isn't as familiar. Everyone will have two of them. So math is not my strong suit. I work with numbers, or I work with words.
I don't know how
So
many
I think
combinations that is.
I think that's 12 different combinations that you can have, but maybe I don't know. Again, math is not my strong suit. I'm not going to go through all the combinations. I'll just go through each individual number. So let's start with one. Good place to start, right?
Mhm.
Um, so one is that expert and authority. They like to learn everything they can. They just want to soak it up. They want to know everything about it. They want to go down all of the rabbit holes. And they're also here to teach people what they've learned. They are meant to demonstrate and inform and show, like, share with people what they have learned from all their research, because a one line, even if they feel like they don't know very much, they are going to know more than most people about that thing.
So these
One
are the
line,
people who they like just start something and then they're already teaching everybody? Or do they
or
wait until
they
they know everything?
so they are less likely to show up until they feel like they know enough to show people. So
Okay.
there's this gray line with one lines where we have to kind of walk it, that when we do know enough, we are showing up and
You let
sharing it.
yourself show up.
Yeah, because it's like the idea that you'll know everything about something is just, it's a fallacy. Like that's just
Mm-hmm.
impossible. I mean, I have a one line. I'm a 5-1 profile. And I've been looking at human design for 3, 4 years. I think it'll be 4 years this summer. Um, and it's only in about 6, 7 months ago that I actually started talking about it with other people.
Mm,
I would talk
yeah.
about it in my internal circle, but
Mm-hmm.
I didn't start bringing it to my work and talking about it publicly until December of 2024.
What's been the impact it had on your work since you brought it in?
Oh, it's completely changed my business, my work, everything. I so when I use it with my clients, so I'll look at my clients' human design charts to impact and influence their marketing and their messaging and how they
Mm-hmm.
show up. And when I first started doing it, I had a couple of done for you copy clients on my roster that were new to me. I'd never really worked with them before. Um, and with permission, use their human design to influence my drafts.
Mm-hmm.
And immediately I had the fewest amount of edits, revision requests ever in my 8 years as a copywriter.
Wow.
And
That's
I always try to get like 75-80% there on draft one anyway. And this
mhm.
was like 95% there on draft one.
So you're able to get into the design of someone else because of the level that you know it at and then write from
Yeah.
that place.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about twos because I want you to talk about me now.
Well, yeah. And I have a fun fact about that too. So twos are our natural talents. You're good at things for no reason other
For
than
no
you were
good reason.
created to be good at them.
That's
So when
hilarious.
somebody's like, Karin, why you were so good at this? How did you get good at it? You're just
Truly
It's not
don't
saying you
know.
don't study or that you don't practice and hone your craft, but you have this natural ability to just be good at things for sure. And we often call two lines the hermits because the way that you get good at something is by going into your little hermit cave and this time in isolation all by yourself. You hone your craft by yourself and like you hide from the world. Now, because of that, two lines often have to be called out and be like, hey, come out of your cave now. Like, hey, come show us what you're doing. Show us what you got. What have you learned? Sometimes you get a little too comfy in your cave and you have to
Mm-hmm.
be called out. I find that a lot of artists and athletes tend to be two lines in some way, shape, or form, like
Mm-hmm.
some sort of artistry, some sort of athletic thing. Um, yeah, you're just real good at it because you
Which I
are.
think what's really interesting about the hermiting thing is I just had 2 nights alone in my house. And I had a ridiculous amount of like things start to make sense and kind of ahas
Mhm.
on things that I'd been trying to figure out for quite a while. And it
Yeah.
just really landed the plane for me that like I have to be alone sometimes
Yes.
for my life to make sense and work, which,
And as a projector, yes.
yeah.
Yes, yes. I'm pulling up your chart really quick because there was something else I was going to look at about it.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, you absolutely have to be alone. Marketing wise and sales wise,
It's
if we're
terrible.
talking about well, kind of because you're just good at it. Actually, so two lines are in my they're my ideal audience. Like a
Hmm.
2-4 are the people I'm designed to attract and attune to and work with, which is
Working
real
out for
well.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it fits there real well. And part of that reason is because when it comes to marketing, two lines often they either want a representative, they want somebody to do it for them. If we go back to that artist or athlete, they want a PR person, they want a
Mm.
manager. They want to be able to show up and do the thing they're good at, and they don't want to have to worry about all the other stuff that goes into making it happen. So they either want a representative or they want someone to help them get real good at what they're doing. They want that, a baseball player wants a batting coach. An artist might want a mentor in their field, right? A
Mm-hmm.
singer is going to want a vocal coach. So they either want representation or they want somebody to make them real good at what they do. That's what they're looking for
That makes
in
sense.
their people. Yeah. Um, I was going to look at people wise if there was something else that makes you like, no, I just want to be by myself, please. So, because you have a small split, which means you don't need a ton of other output to help you synthesize information and get to your decision.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so some people have like a triple split or a quad split. And the more splits you have, the more output you need from other people to help you make a decision. So,
What does
or
that mean,
input you
output?
need.
Okay.
I think I misspoke. I meant input. You got to go
Okay.
be around
Like
other people.
just be around them, or do you have to talk to them? Is it just like go sit in a coffee shop and life makes more sense?
It can be just sit in a coffee shop. Yeah.
Okay.
Mental projectors need to talk to people, but you are a
Mhm.
splenic projector, so you don't need to
Okay.
do that.
Perfect.
You can just hit on it. So the 3 lines, if we wanna jump to the 3
Mhm.
lines are our change agents. They are our pivots. They are the people who have to do things the hard way. Like, they
I'm so
just
sorry, guys.
have to,
Yeah.
right? Like, they are the ones who are like, if you try to tell them as a projector, if you say, "Hey, don't touch the stove, it's hot," because you can see things, and you know that if they touch that stove, it's gonna hurt. 3 lines are the ones that are like, "Noted. I need to go feel how hot that is. I need to go figure this out for myself." Which, as a projector, can be real hard probably to work with 3 lines when you're trying to just tell them, "Don't do it like that. I'm going to help you avoid all this hurt and pain." And they're the ones that are like, I gotta figure it out for myself anyway."
Hmm. I was
Like,
just looking at
sitting
my
in that with
daughter's a
them.
3.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think this is a part of like, there are certain milestones that we all have to hit, and some people have to hit every single one of them, and that's okay. And it's just like, I think it can be really frustrating sometimes to watch people who appear to be gliding through life and be like, why do I hit my head on every tree branch I pass? It's like sometimes that's just the way it is. And like we can be neutral about that too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, the 3 lines are such a gift for the rest of us because they show us and teach us that failure is not the end.
Right.
Like, you can mess up. Okay, that's 99 ways not to make a light bulb, right? Like, it's failure is not definitive, it is not the end, it is not the sum of your worth or your value or how good you are at what you do.
Data.
It is, it's just information, and 3 lines can pivot so quickly. They do not
Hmm.
stay in stuckness. A healthy aligned 3 does not.
Hmm.
And so, they also are the trendsetters. They're not gonna be the ones who are following all the trends. They're most likely to set a trend and anticipate what's coming and, like, jump in front of it a little bit. Um, but
But
everything's a
think about
lesson for
that from a
them.
marketing perspective. So if you're a 3 line and you're trying to look like all your IG besties, you're missing the point.
Mhm.
So how does a 3 line think about showing up and creating content with that trendsetter thing?
Well, I think going back to what you're saying about just be yourself, it's owning the fact that you are trial and error, right? Like, don't
Right.
show up to whether it's on your marketing or in your sales calls, like, don't show up trying to be somebody else, trying to be this 2 line who's just naturally good at it, you don't know why. No, as a 3 line, you know why you're good at it, and it's because you have tried all the other ways. You
Right.
have tried all the other things that did not work, but
And
this
so
is the one that works.
your social, for example, is going to be like you doing a bunch of things that don't hit and then some things that do hit. And that's the way
Y
it's supposed to be.
Well, maybe. It could also be showing your trial and error of your process. If
Mm-hmm.
you are a certain type of a coach, okay, well, you talk about some hard-earned wisdom. You you know why this works because
Yeah. If you're
you've
still
been
here.
there and you've
Yeah.
done it,
Mm-hmm.
right? But and it's also, gosh, these change agents, they call out the BS. They smell it a mile away and they're gonna call it out. So again, in your marketing, especially in your sales calls, how can you call out the BS that you're hearing?
Oh, I
Because
love that.
you know that that's not it. You know that that reeks,
Mm-hmm. Say the
and
quiet
they
part
are,
out loud 3 lines.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, yes,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely. So 4 lines are our influential networkers. They are our people.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean that all 4 lines are extroverted by any means. You can be an introverted 4 line. Um, but our 4 lines which is no surprise that you are 4 line,
Mm-hmm.
they rely on their people. Their people, their relationships, their connections are absolutely everything to them.
Yeah.
Like, I thought it was so interesting when I started reading about 4 lines. One line said that, like, one article I was reading talked about it as a way that 4 lines abstain from their decision-making power. Like, they
What does
give
that
it up.
mean
Like,
for connection?
they, um so, like, if you were wanting to do something, if you were wanting to work with someone, you aren't gonna go out there and look for a different type of coach. You aren't if you needed email marketing support, you're not going to go to Google and look for email marketing experts.
Oh, no, never.
You're gonna go to your people,
Right. Okay.
and your people are gonna
Absolutely.
say, "Hey, somebody might say, 'Hey, I recommend Brianna Owen. Go check
Mm-hmm.
her out.'" And so you check me out, check somebody out, and then you're like, "Okay, yeah, sure, works for me."
Mm-hmm.
Like, you rely on your people to give you your biggest opportunities. And I bet if you think back, your best clients, your
My
best
best job I ever
jobs.
got,
Yep.
all my jobs actually. I don't think I
Probably
ever
even your
applied for a
favorite
job
things.
and got it. It was always a connection. I
Yeah,
think there's only one job where I just applied. Every other single job, and that was like the worst job for me. Every other single job came through my network, like every single one since I've been 16 years old.
it's an invitation,
Mm-hmm.
which you crave as a projector
Mm-hmm.
from being recognized. Somebody recommended you for that job because they recognized your skills, your talents. And then that 4 of the networker and that influential networker, like, yeah,
Yeah.
that's
And
so aligned with you.
yeah. And the thing I want to point out here for everybody, because even if you're not all a four, this applies to all of us, that a lot of people think until I'm selling to a cold audience, I haven't figured out how to market. And that's actually not true.
Mm,
I think if we're doing marketing well in terms of selling one on one coaching, like you should never sell to someone who's cold and that you may never get the chance. I don't think I've ever sold coaching to a cold audience, and I've been in the business for 15 years. Everybody is warm for some reason or another. And like, unless you're going to get out there and run ads to courses or whatever, informational products, like you're probably never going to sell to a cold audience. So just like
I will
anyone,
say
yeah,
manifestors, human design manifestors, they could be selling to a cold audience. I will say that.
say more about how they can do it because I have some client. I love coaching manifestors because I think they're
Yeah.
very unique to coach.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, say more.
Man manifestors are their strategy is to initiate and inform. So they are the ones who get things going.
Mm-hmm.
They are the talk about a trendsetter. They are the true trendsetters in our world.
Mm-hmm.
And they literally initiate. They've got this when people talk about the aura of a manifestor, it's a very pointed, direct aura. And I
Mm-hmm.
think of the mole guy from the movie Atlantis. Like,
Yeah.
he just digs, right? Like, that's
Yeah.
a manifestor. They just they just get in and
Yeah.
they initiate and they are meant to inform so that people can either get on board or get out of their way.
Mm-hmm.
But they all they have to do is have a thought. Oh, I think I'm gonna go do this, and they can go do it. Projectors want an invitation, and um, manifesting generators and generators, we want something to respond to, right? Like, everybody else needs something external to get us going, and
Mm-hmm.
manifestors can initiate.
So we're
So
all
because
following them.
yeah, right,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, because manifestors are also meant to initiate and inform in a way because they're not meant to see something through. They are not the builder or the doer. They are not the advisor, they are not the reflector, they are the initiator. So they
Mm-hmm.
get something started, and then they need to have people around them to maintain it for them.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not meant to do things alone. They need to have people that get it going for them. But if anybody is going to be able to cold call with success and it not feel heavy and it not feel like a drag, it's going to be your manifestors.
Well, that's kind of fun. Okay, all my manifestor clients who are listening, this may be an experiment worth trying.
Yeah.
Cold call.
If it's going to work for anybody, it's going to be a manifestor. I will
And it
just say
has to
that.
be the people that you know you want to work with, right? It can't just be anybody.
Yeah, like you need everything else needs to be in alignment. Are
Mm-hmm.
they your ideal audience? Do you feel that peace? Because
Mm-hmm.
manifestors are their self-theme is peace. When you
Mm.
have an idea, if somebody comes to if you're talking about cold calling, you're gonna cold call, oh man, I'm gonna reach out to this person. I'm gonna cold call, cold pitch them. Do you feel peace in your body about it? Because if you don't feel peace, and whether it's about the person, about the service, how you're pitching, if you don't feel peace, it's not in alignment.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Oh, that's great. Okay. I know
yeah,
who to share this episode with now.
right? The other the other thing I will say if we jump back to fours real quick,
Mm-hmm.
um, is that because you are influential networkers, your first line of connection is going to be your most powerful asset in life, in business, and all of it. So, creating content that is easily shareable. When you have a new offer to share, when you are showing up or doing something, when you are looking for clients, like, are you creating content that is easily shareable? And are
No,
you
I'm not.
and asking people or telling people, give them that invitation, give them something to respond to that's like, yes, I can share this. Yes, I will share this. Like part of
Mm-hmm.
that too is does your first line of people, and yes, I mean clients or prospects, but also like your family, your neighbors. Like,
Mm-hmm.
do they know what you do? Because
Mm-hmm.
as a four line, your first layer of connections are the ones that are meant to take your message out into the world.
Your direct contacts. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Other people are meant to spread your message for you, not you.
That is so weird.
Yeah. So creating content that is easily shareable, asking when you're on a sales call with someone or as a post sales call follow up, maybe even like, how can you work that in too? Of, hey, who else do you know?
Yeah. Can I ask you a question, a personal question
Yeah. Yeah.
about me, actually?
Yeah.
Um, I'm having this feeling that this is something I should be sharing, and that is the advocacy of our field of coaching with coaches for coaches and sharing that more. And that for some reason, that's supposed to be a part of my marketing. That feels like something worth sharing to me. What do
Okay.
you, do you think so? Because to me, it feels
Well,
weird. I'm like, what? That doesn't make any sense. But yet it keeps coming up and I keep having it reflected back to me.
first of all, say more about what that means, what the advocacy element means.
Something that really lands for people is when I talk about like our industry, our field, and like how we're all in this together and how like what you do impacts my business and what I do impacts your business as coaches. And how where we have been in the last 4 years, there's been some shady stuff going on. People got really annoyed. It stopped working. It impacted all of us, even if we weren't a part of it. That whole thing, and like talking about how do we keep moving our field forward in a really high integrity way, um, and advocating for that because there are people who will never call themselves a coach because they think it would be embarrassing, and I'm like,
Mhm.
no, like coaching is amazing. We need to like be with that and
Mhm.
take responsibility for it.
Okay. And then your question is that something you should be sharing?
Yeah, it seems more shareable than some of the other random stuff I post, I guess.
Well, what you said earlier was that you feel like you've been requested that.
Mm-hmm.
One, it keeps coming up for you, and two, you feel like it's being requested of you.
Mm-hmm.
So that is an invitation
True. Yeah.
that you then get to choose how you respond. Because not all
Yeah.
invitations do you have to say yes to.
I'm a yes to
And
this one.
there you go. Then there you go. Now, if we wanted to have the conversation of this is where human design can come into play of, okay, how?
Mm-hmm.
What's the best way for you to talk about this? Like that's where human design can get real nitty gritty for you.
Mm-hmm.
This doesn't happen for everyone, but your ideal audience happens to be the same two numbers of your profile too. So your ideal people are also the 4 lines and the 2 lines.
Mm-hmm. I have had
So
a lot of
then,
2-4 clients.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's knowing that, hey, if these people are influential networkers and they're using their network and they're one, you know that a relationship with you is a must, right? I have learned that I am not going to sell to people very quickly. I have to have an established relationship with them.
Mm-hmm.
I have 4 lines in my ideal audience. They need to feel that connection before they will work with me, and that just means, like, I have to get over this idea of a quick like, a quick conversion.
Right. You're like building relationships all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like,
That makes
I
sense.
just know that, and your 2 lines are those natural talents too, and so they are the people when you're talking about this idea of advocating for the coaching profession and the coaching industry, it's calling people out. In a
Mm-hmm.
way that, like, not calling them out, like calling them on their BS, but calling them out to, like, share their goodness. "Hey,
Mm-hmm.
stop, like, you're hiding in this cave, you're keeping all of your stuff to yourself, but we need you, and we need the goodness you have to share, we need your perspective, we need" there's how many
We need
niches
you in it
are
with us.
possible? Yeah,
Yeah.
and, like, how many niches are possible in the coaching industry? So many, infinite,
Yeah.
and so it's really, like, calling people out in a way to, like, don't keep this to yourself. Let's go for other people.
Yeah. I love that. Thank you for the diversion.
Always. I'm happy to do that. I think we have two more if we're going to finish the
Yeah.
profile lines.
Yeah.
The five line is your practical solution messenger. I am a 5 line. Hey, hi,
Okay.
hello. Love you all. A couple of things about 5 lines. One, we want we are the ones that will give you your practical solution. Like, you want to know how it's going to happen or what you need to do and how it's going to go? I will give you your 3-step process. I
Oh,
will
that's
tell you exactly
amazing.
what you need, right? Like, I am the
So when
one
I
that's
need
like,
to make my big ideas into a process, I go partner with a 5.
yeah.
Okay.
When you're like, "How do I do this? How do I
Mm-hmm.
make this happen?" Your 5 line will tell you.
Okay.
5 lines are often projected on because people
Oh.
will come to a 5 line. It's called the, savior a lot of the time. Like, we can almost have, like, a savior complex. People see us as a savior for all problems.
Mm.
5 lines have to protect themselves with boundaries. What solutions are you willing to show up for and solve, and which ones are you not available to solve? Because otherwise you find yourself in this place of somebody asked me to do something and I'm, yeah, yes, I'll do that for you. And then you're out of alignment with your strategy and authority, and it doesn't feel good, and it leads to that anger, bitterness, frustration, disappointment, and all of
Right.
all of that stuff we're trying to stay away from.
Okay. So if you're listening to this and you don't know your human design, your homework for this episode is to go look it up. And if you are a 5 line, then implement some boundaries. It's going to be so
Mhm.
important.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But we really do see the inefficiencies and the gaps, and we see what's possible and how to fix it. Also, often 5 lines are the ones that come up with the outside of the box
Mm.
solutions. So take email marketing, for example.
Mm-hmm.
I don't just talk about email marketing. One, I talk about email sequences and automations. And two, it's all infused with human design,
Right.
right? Like,
Yeah.
not a lot of people are talking about this. This is an outside of the
Yeah.
box, very practical solution for
Yeah.
people.
Absolutely. That makes
Um,
a ton of sense.
and then the other thing, really cool thing about fives that I think it's important to know, especially when you are showing up for sales calls and marketing and messaging and whatnot, is you're meant to go beyond other people's stages. Like, you are the traveler and the wayfinder. Like, you are meant to go beyond your network into new networks and new places.
Mm-hmm.
So don't just stay with your people, go beyond.
Even if you don't
5
feel ready.
yes,
Yeah.
especially if you've got that 5-1 in there,
Mm-hmm.
like, even if you don't feel ready, you are. 5s make really good affiliate marketers
Oh.
because they are often connecting the dots between
Mm-hmm.
people.
Cool. That
I
makes a
will
lot
say
of
that.
sense.
Yeah.
Do you feel ready to be a copywriter infusing human design and being on stages?
Yes.
You do.
Now,
Now you do.
yes. Yep.
But you could have gone a couple years earlier if you would have really pushed yourself.
I I do feel like I got the jump as soon as I mean, I spent years trying to figure out how does human design impact my marketing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a marketing person. I could see how marketing or I could see how human design, how do I show up in my business? And, like there are all
Mm-hmm.
sorts of very practical, tangible things there. But I always wanted to know, but what does it mean for my marketing and what does it mean for my messaging? And it literally happened in December. I found something. This is the one line at play. I was going down a rabbit hole, and all of a sudden, like 8 different puzzle pieces connected in my brain. And then I took it to a friend who is interested in human design too, and I was like, "Can I show you this?" She's a
Mm-hmm.
projector. I love projectors in my life. I was like, "Okay, projector, am I onto something here? Like, what do
Mm-hmm.
you think?" She responded, she gave me that recognition, too, that I need, and I started testing it out. So I do feel like I showed up pretty quickly
Yeah,
with
cool.
this information when I got there, but
Yeah.
not
The
always.
things all made sense. They had to click into
Yeah,
place. Yeah.
yeah. I spent
Good.
years studying human design, and I've been a copywriter for 8 years. Like,
Yeah.
in their own right, I had done the study.
Mm-hmm.
Um, okay, last profile line is our
Okay.
6. Our 6s are our role models. They are our living examples. A 6 line actually goes through 3 different periods in life. They start out, uh,
This is so
0
wild.
0 to 30, 6 lines very much operate like a 3 line. They are the F around and find out. Like, they're gonna bump into all the things, what works, what doesn't work, how does this go, right? They're gonna do all that. And then around 30-ish, between 30 and 50, they take this step back from active leadership, and they are basically analyzing the data of all of the things they done tried and trial and error and found out the hard way to really understand what did they just go through? What did they just experience? What did they learn? Like, they're really taking a step back and sorting through it all. And then at 50, around 50 or so, through the rest of their life, they are like these wise Yodas. They did the trial and error. They studied it. They understand what they have learned, and now they are ready to share that wisdom with others. But people seek out these 5 lines in this wise Yoda age of life. Like, they people want to know this wisdom from them.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's also important as a 6 line, if there are any 6 lines listening, to also keep in mind, where are you at in life? Like, what
Mm-hmm.
age do you fall into? Because that
Yeah.
could inform, like, what of your 6 line is coming to life right now.
Yeah.
But 6 lines they are living role models. They walk the talk,
Mm-hmm.
which also means, like, 6 lines hate a hypocrite. Like, they cannot stand hypocrite, like, at all. Um They see the big picture, but they live the big picture too, right? They can see it, they can describe it, they can feel it, they can taste it. Like, they bring that big picture to life for all of us. Um, and 6 lines are here to share these life lessons with others. So this isn't just about them. This is about, like, gosh, yeah, like, how can I bring this information to others? So especially thinking of a coach with a 6 line, oh my goodness, like, I hope that more than anything, this conversation affirms that you're doing something you're meant to be doing.
Yeah. I have a client who's a coach, who's a 6 line, who is over 50. So listen up. That was good.
Yeah, share your journey, empower people.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another way that people can just show up as themselves and honor who they are in the conversation too.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, that was a lot of information for people, or pocketed information for people, depending on what your numbers are and what your design is. But I think
Right, right.
it's all interesting. And as we talk about selling like a human, I think it's important to tell my story of learning about human design. It was
Yeah.
pre-pandemic. I don't remember when it was, a while back. I think I had like a 2-year-old. So 8 years ago. Um, Someone shared it with me, Jackie Johnstone, who was on my podcast in the first 50 episodes. And it really changed the way that I sold, because I had been hearing like you
Mm,
should follow up with people and like pitching your stuff to people. It never felt right to me, but I was like, I gotta try it. Like I have to at least try these things that I hear about to see if they will work. And they always felt terrible and failed terribly. And like
mm,
later on, I would be like, what was I doing? Um, so when I learned about waiting for the invitation and that there's really zero point in me reaching out unless I have that, like it just helped me lean back in sales in a really interesting way. So I think if you take nothing else away from human design, take the sales support that it gives you
mhm.
on this like very basic topical level of how
Yeah,
do I interact with the world and how does the world want to interact with me?
yeah, absolutely. Because, and as a projector, have you found ways to ask for the invitation?
Say more.
So your strategy is to wait for the invitation,
Mm-hmm.
but as a projector, you can ask for the invitation. So if you are seeing something and you are wanting to say something,
Mm-hmm.
um, when you give unsolicited advice, that never goes well, right? Like
Right.
it just
Yes.
never goes well. But you could ask for the invitation of, hey, can I talk to you? Can I tell you something I'm seeing? Can I share this with
Yes.
you?
I have figured that out. It's
Okay.
one of the ways that we find consent is sexy is
Yes.
saying like, do you want some feedback on that? Or I am
Yep.
thinking about some things. Do you want me to share them?
Mm-hmm.
I do have
Mm-hmm.
ideas, but I want to
Mm-hmm.
know if you want to hear them before I say them out loud.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So you can be asking for the invitation,
Hmm.
um, more than like it's not about sitting back and twiddling your
Right.
thumbs, you
Yeah.
know?
Each position is empowered.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And if
Yeah.
you've got like if there are projectors listening and who are wanting to be invited to have the sales conversation, they're wanting to be invited um, to work with someone and to coach them and to guide them. One of the best ways that you can do that, like people, if you think about it in a very tactical, tangible way, people can't invite you if they can't see you.
Right.
And so for you, it's about showing up in whatever sphere you're at in a way that you, from recognizing yourself first,
Hmm.
recognizing your skills and your talents and what are you good at and what are you good at seeing and how are you good at helping people. And when you start talking about that, the thing you feel success about what you're doing and you are coming from a place of recognizing yourself, when you share those things, that creates opportunities for people to invite you to then hop on a sales call with them, hop on a connection call, like say more about what you do and how people can work with you.
Hmm. So for my projector clients listening, you do have to go out there and do things so that people can
Mhm.
see you, right? It's not like sit
Mhm.
around and wait to be invited and hope people get how special you are, because they won't unless they know why they should know how special you are, which you have to generate. So that's why we do like
Yep.
events or put out a blog post or do a podcast or do any number
Mhm.
of things. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to recognize yourself first.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's so good. It's
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
Ah,
Based on what we were messaging about, is there any last thing that you want to make sure we get to say?
I think it's just the one thing I want people to take away from this is not only does it matter how you sell and selling like a human and showing up like a human, but that there's specific ways that you can do it that will feel good to you and feel easy. And I just think that's so cool, and it can be I hope it's so affirming and encouraging for people, And so to embrace who you are and to embrace how you're wired and not give yourself a hard time if what
Mhm.
works for someone else doesn't work for you. Like, you're not broken. There's nothing wrong with you. Like, there's a way for you too.
Yeah.
So I just think it's such a fun conversation for people to have and empowering. So if anybody is listening and they're like, I just don't understand why it's not working when I'm showing up on calls, or why I'm not attracting the right people, or why everybody says no to me when I'm on a call, like, that is something human design can give you a ton
Mhm.
of insight on it. And I'm more than happy to have those kinds of conversations with people, or follow my content. I share a lot out there on the internet too.
Mhm. And where do people find you?
Online. I hang out the most on Instagram. My handle is at Owen Your Mark. So I'm a copywriter. It's a play on my last name,
Mhm.
Owen. So it's OWEN Your Mark with a K, normal spelling.
Mhm.
My website's the same thing, owenyourmark.com. And if you go to owenyourmark.com/links, all of my freebies are under that one URL.
How handy.
I know.
Okay,
That way
great. So
when I
people can
add
come check
to
it out.
them, yeah, that way when I add to them, something happens between now and when this airs, it's there for them.
You always got the freshest stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Perfect. Okay, good. Thanks for being here and for sharing anything that helps people make it easier, because there's a lot of ways we can make this stuff all hard. And I think it's a good reminder that if you follow the ease, you're probably following your actual path and what's going to
Mhm.
work for you, even though it can feel really awkward to do that because that's not really what we're taught how to do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Well, thank you so much for having this conversation with me. This was so fun. I appreciate it, and I hope that it's valuable and helpful and supportive to everyone listening as well.
absolutely. Awesome. All right. So we'll put the link to get your chart in there, and we'll put the link
Mhm.
to your website with the link so people can find your good freebies and get on your list and hear more from you.
Perfect. I can't wait.
Thank you. Like we said, the links are in the show notes. And I just want to thank Brianna again for being here and sharing some human design wisdom with us in service of our businesses having more ease inside of them. Human design has meant a lot for me in business. So it's something that I enjoy understanding about my clients and helping them in whatever minor ways that I can with the knowledge that I do have, which is not a ton. um, but if you know anyone who's curious about human design and this might be a great episode to share with them, I hope that you'll share it because that's how the podcast gets more love. All right. Have a great day. Thank you for being here, and we'll see you again next week. Same bat channel.